name is Father Salvatore Cordaro, the pastor of St. Joseph's Church in New Paltz, New York. And the gospel reading for today is the parable of the prodigal son from the Gospel of St. Luke. So the younger son in this parable, the arrogant, the selfish, the good-for-nothing younger son, he's a piece of work, as they used to say. Because he's taken his father's wealth and he's wasted it all. He's given in to all his desires, all of his greed, all of his selfishness. And still, he's not satisfied. And he reaches bottom. For a Jew to be working with swine was degrading, also against the law, and even worse, he's starving. Where the servants at his father's house have more than enough to eat, he's forced to dream about what the pigs are eating. And that wakes him up to where he is and what he has become, and he knows what he has to do. So he goes back to his father. And when his father sees him coming up the road, the father does not care what he had done, even though he had every right to do so. And the father runs to his son, he embraces him, he welcomes him back, and he lifts him back up to where he used to be, where he should be. Just as God does when we respond to his grace and we wake up to what we are doing that is degrading us or hurting another person, and we are sick of feeling the guilt and the shame that are associated with sin, and we humbly ask for forgiveness. And that forgiveness is granted to us before we even have a chance to get the words out. That's not the end of the story, of course not. Once we're forgiven, once we're given a second chance, we still have to do the work of not falling down again and reaching bottom again. Now, once we've climbed out of the mess of sin that we put ourselves into, we have to stay vigilant. We have to pray. We have to train ourselves not to settle for the easy pleasures of sin, and instead to work for the lasting satisfaction and peace of living a virtuous life. And we can do it with God's help. God is always reaching out his hand to those who are stuck in sin, those who live for themselves alone. And he's offering his forgiveness, and thanks be to God, he has all the patience in the world.